night about 6 o'clock from Dennis, Texas, from the finals of No Prep League. See the whole mess here. Pound shit, pound pick up, put shit in. But, so what we got going on in here. For everybody, yeah, you can put some limiters on this thing. He's like, so we can get it to rotate just a little bit to kind of shock tire, because Caden got 315s he mounted up last night. So again, making time for 315s on here for Warriors class. Took off the old 28s. Got on some 30s, I guess you call them. So we got some limiters. Prime Fabrications got us some limiters. And Henry at HFR got us some nut surf and get ready to weld in here. Get these mounted right there. So we'll be able to limit the travel. But anyway, Katie welded on a first panel before we left to go out west. And then we had a few things to do that. Waiting on turbo to show up today. So we got some new turbos. Let me show you here. So this is a new hubless design with a new map channel change that Comp did for us for these turbos, but they made a whole new compressor wheel for this turbo for us to try out, that we're going to try and go even faster with better manifold air temps. Oh, Frank here. All right, man. So hopefully we'll be loaded up. It's 12 o'clock and ready to go here by, I don't know, 6, 4. I'd say 4. So that if I say 4, then we'll be loaded and on the road hopefully by 6. Right. If I say 6, that means 8. So. So here we are. We are in Q1 round 1 for Caden and lunch money. So we made some rounds last night. We lightened the weight up, lightened the carb a little bit. Took the Go Lithiums out of OG and put them in here and lost about 30 pounds there. We're still about 60 overweight. I think we're weighing 29,430, I think. So, we're gonna have the old RX-7. Round 1, yeah, it's twin turbo. Round 1 of Wildfire rounds. Yep. So X2 went out. We went out and tried to make a pass. Car shut off here at like 2 seconds of the run. Looks like we may have a turbo issue. We had beta turbos we had shipped into us while we're trying some different stuff. We can't quite tell. But we're gonna go back to the other ones just to eliminate that being an issue. We should have tested yesterday, honestly. I just didn't set my crew up after being on the road so long, and my tuner to help out set up with this deal to be here till yesterday. Greg showed up here last night, so we got around and testing him with the truck, now with X2, so we ended up doing a test with X2 in qualifying rounds today, but it's all right. We'll get a handle on it. We'll put the other turbos back on and we'll get it figured out. And yeah, so how you feeling, Caden? 15-0.
Sorry, I was talking no prep. Sorry. That was just like an automatic.
We hope it goes to 620s on the quarter. All right, guys. Let's get some more videos for you here shortly.
Hey, look, I'll take the yellow car for $5. You get the gray car. You want to take it? Alright, no worries. Take it in. You know that guy? What the?
Thank God, babe. All right.
Well, that puts an end to our day.
That's officially the end of our elimination round. Drop valve, window to block. See it down there. Put the oil pan back on, but believe me, you don't really want to see the oil pan. That's the ET as we lost.
Huh.
Very slow up front because the track was so sticky. We were the first couple pair down for the after the radials. We were about 8 numbers slow to 330. We were 10 numbers slow to the 8th mile. We were 14 to 15 mile an hour down on the mile an hour of the 8th mile. And yeah, that's what we ended up with. And then our pass yesterday where we went 599, I had a pedal, good, better 60 foot, better 330, still a little slow doing a pedal. Backed off slow on the 8th mile and down about 15 mile an hour on the 8th mile and ended up with that at the quarter. But just tough weekend. I ran this car all early season and I didn't put any valve train in this car after we parked it and let it sit. We did measure spring pressures this Wednesday or Thursday and everything was good on that side. It was strong on that side of the motor. But wasn't strong enough, or the valve head just decided to go ejecto engine no. So we're done. Definitely think we had a hot rod. It would be a contender this year considering we plan on running every pass to the stripe, which every chance I could, I did. But man, I was disappointed on the result of having a broken motor. No fault of the engine other than just a component just being worn. It's a maintenance deal. So we'll revamp, go back to the drawing board and decide what we're going to do with this whole combo in this car. From turbo to engine. I don't know. I'm just quite decided. I thought about putting a Hemi in it, but I got to get my money squared away before I decide on doing anything with this thing. So this is just going to sit until I figure those things out and regroup. But yeah, appreciate all my crew, family, friends, co-workers that allowed us to make this happen this season. This will be officially the end of our season of racing. until we get some time to go out and figure some stuff out. So, yeah, man, we appreciate everybody tuning into this. Hopefully we're going to have a lot of videos to be comprised of a long video here for World Cup between all of us who've done some videoing. And yeah, man, I'm not extremely mad. I kind of figured this, if anything, makes my decisions a little easier on what route I'm going to do and what I'm going to go, where I'm going to go and how I'm going to go about making some changes to this, you know, this car in Relic X2. So stay tuned on that too. Filling in, we got a whole winter to make some decisions and get my money right, my wife's money right. So we're doing some more American ingenuity. We had to take care of some things on lunch money over there to hopefully combat some power wheeling. Caden's got to do some springs. Got the jack stands ready to go. So we're getting ready to do some springs over here on this thing. We've already tested these in the front end with ride height, body, stuff that got banged up from the power wheelie earlier. And hopefully we're gonna get a lunch money to be able to not want a power wheelie without a 9-inch stroke for a shock. So we're gonna give it hell with this right now. I don't know though. We're giving it hell. We're not trying to take power out of it. Definitely had right a lot of power in earlier. It just was coming on weird, and Greg noticed that the boost controller did two totally different things between adding more dome pressure and taking away, which is really odd. It made more boost but less dome pressure, made less boost with more dome pressure today. Just very weird. So hopefully we can figure it out. Greg would love to do it with timing. We just don't have a lot of time to test, trying to determine what kind of qualifying rounds, determine what it's going to need during the qualifying rounds we have, and that they're limited. So we're just trying to make do with the best we have. Got Caden apprenticing under Adam's supervision on checking some rod bearing condition and main bearing condition. Hopefully we find one that's a little messed up that's salvageable, because we definitely have something going on. We found some shit in the pan, low oil pressure, so trying to get it done so we can continue doing some testing tomorrow, since we qualified for 16th now.
I haven't checked out.
They were 16th. We might be a little further back as of this qualifying round we missed. But stay tuned. Trying to see how well we can do here. First season out at World Cup Finals with a little lunch money. Let's talk about this real quick, because ultimately, MIR was a real big deal for us. And it seems like this year, everywhere we go, it's him and I and our crew trying to run two cars and not leave something on the table with the program. I'd have to say that MIR World Cup is by far the best event we go to all year. I mean, MPE is really cool, and we love being a part of that, and hopefully we'll talk about that soon, where that's going and where we're going to be with that this year, because we don't know at this point. But World Cup ends our season usually every year, at least the last 2 years. Katie was chomping a bit to want to run it.
for the past like 6 years.
So we didn't really know if this thing was going to be able to be competitive, but it ended up, man. It ended up. What did you go?
681 with knocking the bearings out of it down the track.
That was with a power wheelie.
Yeah, and I lifted.
Yeah, power wheelie. You pedaled it. I was right. It was like 68% throttle, went 680 it, just under 199, like 198 change.
198, 9 something.
But so that OG is the exact same motor as this car. So this truck has the identical platform as far as motor combo, converter combo, rear transmission, everything's the same as an OG. It's actually all my spare stuff OG I put into this. And I've been sub 650 with that, over 210 mile an hour. And I knew that this could do it too. We knew it, we just had to get it there. Difference is I did that on a big tire with that car, which I had data. I've only ran the radial. How many passes we make? How many years?
3 or 4, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, every one of them went down, but they're power wheeling. We figured we had to put a lot of weight in the front of that car. So, what's up? It's the old fart brother. We have some frozen pipes. It's sub double digits here. It's almost single digits. Almost sub-zero digits. Might be in the middle of the night. Don't grab that. Oh, is that the kerosene?
Yeah, you can take it. That's all right. Go ahead, take our B-cam. It's fine.
Damn! No, that says 80X. What is that?
Oh, kerosene's right here.
Yeah, see that? I told you. I tried.
God damn.
There it is. I tried.
Sorry, Brad.
You're good. We're gonna roll with it. If the B-cam's messed up, we're rolling. No, I'll check it.
No, we got one. We got one. We can use. Let us borrow it. We don't need to buy it.
I mean, I didn't know.
Anyway, man, I don't know where we were leaving off. Other than this thing sure really went fast. We didn't have a lot of time on radials, other than running OG a couple times, and that went pretty smooth when we did it. But we needed weight. As you can see, we ended up. We don't even really know if this is too much at this point, but I think this is enough.
No, because I still wheelie with that much, I think.
But I don't know, man.
I like the mismatch. I had Caden explain this to me earlier with the 7.5
only
and
way
then
to
the
get it to
5s.
fit with the front end on.
Yeah, with the radius of the front end, it was catching the old heavy pile of steel right there. I don't even know how to really talk about it, man, other than it was a heartbreaking time, the whole MIR trip this week, this year, just because we put a rod in this thing not knowing what the problem was with it. And
we did a piston too, right?
Rod and piston, but we didn't know what was wrong. I guess
we did rod, pistons, valves.
New valves and cylinder heads.
Yeah.
But when we pulled the heads off to put valves in, we noticed it had a
bent rod.
A bent rod. We got wire ams to make this new harness. Plugged it right in, ran it through the firewall, ran it down here. Put the new trigger on. But when I put the new trigger on, I timed it then. I know when we broke the motor, I didn't put a time light on again. And I can tell you, this car, we check timing every time we fire it. So I'm making it basically a new point of mine for my program to add one more step to our list of things we do. Even with X2, we're gonna put a time light on, check static timing every time we run it, just to make sure we're not skipping a beat and missing something, because if something changes and we're a degree off or 2 degrees, maybe a degree won't always be so bad, but when you're hanging their tongue out, a degree's a lot. For sure, I just took it for granted. Something stupid simple like that. Just because, I don't really know. Mark caught it, so we actually put it and left it right there where it was at. Because the biggest disappointment of honestly finding this wasn't about, us breaking the motor, because, it probably need to be freshened anyway. But it was not all the tuning and the data we just landed.
Gone.
Like being out the window. So Greg's like, look, leave it where it's at. I'm like, well, I'm gonna shoot it with a timing light. We'll see how high it actually was. We'll lock it out, check it when we get it running, see where we're at. And if it's, let's say, 8 degrees, 9 degrees, then we'll add that to the timing table. And then we'll take the timing table that's there and leave that for out the back. So when we're running a high boost, it's safe. But obviously the motor liked it. And we wanted to change power management early. So that's our plan there. So anyway, we were beating bearings out at World Cup. Rod bearings, main bearings, and the detonation would be the reason why I was doing that. All because the time was too high. But I mean, aside from anything, man, like the truck did great. We always end up, like I said, racing 2 cars somehow. Nobody else ever does. We run 2 cars at MPE all season. Caden did really well in the beginning of the season, but we're always leaving something on the table. Like if I'm chasing this car, and Caden's running small tire, like he's hurrying. I'm trying to back out of the pits to get into the lanes and I'm literally trying to run down the thrash, throw a tune-up in, and he's changing my tune-up or correcting my fat finger. Like it's always so chaotic, and I don't know why we do it, put ourselves through the misery, other than for all of us to be able to benefit from doing some racing together. This season, we're like, World Cup, plenty of time. We don't have to worry about 25, 35-minute turnarounds like MPK. We have 2-3 hours, 1.5, 3 hours between, qualifying rounds and elimination rounds. Man, we didn't have no time. It was like, wrenches flying, just like normal, trying to, between, some change of turbos on this car and
4-lane
swap on this, springs on this. We put this on radial. So this is the first time we ever ran this on radial. Now it's stuck on radial. It's on a 315. The truck looks gangster. I love the plot with it. We're leaving it on a 7-inch stroke shock because the way the chassis is built, it honestly won't work with a 9, unfortunately. So we're going to leave the 7 on it. We'll do good with it. We put the Caden Weld limiters on there right before we left that morning to go to World Cup. And that was a big help because Greg taught me something with this that I never really took in consideration with a radial. So we did a lot of little last minute things to it. We did a lot of changes at the track. When I found out how fast this thing was 60 foot, it taught me something that I was leaving on the table with the OG relic all along on Big Tire with a launch retard, being an advanced table and not a retard table on the launch. So he taught me something with this. I had no idea that it could go that fast. So we learned something there. I mean, all in all, man, he's getting ready to leave for college. At least Friday for college. He don't want to change it.
No. Well, I don't feel like changing the plot and everything. Just to get back to small tire where we can just maybe hit a couple races on the radio while it's there. So.
Well, we're 2 to 2.5 hours from Beaver Springs. He's in college about 1 hour and 10 minutes from Beaver. So I told him today, I was like, look, man, if they got a cool event up there, or Mike and them are putting on something neat, or radio, or something prepped, or something he wants to go get after it, we'll leave it like it is. We'll discuss whether or not we want to change the gearing.
Yeah.
I know what we're going to do there. It's got quarter-mile gearing in it now, but Christ, the way Greg said this thing to go 102 with this gearing, and I'm like, why change it?
Yeah.
And we chase data.
We could get more data for.
We get more data with this now, just running it, and then it'll just be like it is. It really doesn't really matter what we do with this, other than maybe chase the data that we would need for there. Because next year, look, if you can break the truck record. We were this close, Our buddy Red Rum, Jason Unch, has got the full size LS truck record.
Yeah.
650. 207. It was 670, like 200 or just under.
Yeah, I think it's like 651 or 657, something like that.
At 207, I believe.
Yeah.
But we were right there before he broke that. It would have been cool if we could have went like, Kane could have broke it. Jason would have broke it.
And broke it. Yeah, that would be cool.
But, so we could go chase that record, be super cool. I have that spare 41X, and after being down at World Cup this year, I was like, man, let's just put the 41 in there. And I'm like, man, you're going to school. I don't have the money to do that. I'm like, I'm not going to go put this 41 in here.
We need to get the crank center lower before we put that in it.
Yeah. Well, it's a truck, so it's so hard to get the the center of gravity low in this thing. But and that could have been part of the problem with the weight. The center of gravity so high. Had we took the test day, we didn't take the test day at World Cup this year.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We did. We came in on Thursday.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then actually Adam, our crew chief, didn't get there on Friday, I believe. So we ruined.
No, I thought we did get the.
No Wednesday test day.
We didn't get the Wednesday test day?
No, sir. We didn't test this Wednesday.
Oh, because I had to weld the limiters on.
Yeah. We took the test day on this car. I forgot we tested. So we didn't test. Next year we will test. We'll pay the extra $300, whatever it is, get there the day early. We will test Wednesday, and we will have a better success. Whether this thing ends up on a radio or not, I don't know. I'm going to change the gearing even further to do that.
28-10-5.
It's not going to be on the 28-10-5 World Cup. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That World Cup dude just got me so hooked. Like, I could leave if I could afford to get this thing ready and just leave it sit ready for next year. I would do it. But let me just tell you what would happen. If I let it sit and I leave it on this 4-post, I think it's his feelings hurt. Because, do you agree?
Yeah.
That son of a bitch gave me a hell of a way to go World Cup when we first got. They went to go fire it up, and their injectors were stuck. Them injectors don't ever stick. They're the most resilient injectors ever. I mean, floated fuel up in the cylinders, methanol all over Adam and everybody, and before we even cranked it, all because we parked it to run nice money, and it sat, man, and it was like, I'm gonna show you all now. Well, park me, let me show you what's up. I don't know, man. So, hope you guys like the new video for World Cup when it comes out here. It's old and put together. We didn't get all the videos of all the runs and rounds that we would like to have gotten, but
A little too chaotic.
yeah, it was chaotic. Look.
That's because I wasn't there.
That's right. That's right.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So exactly right. So yeah, I don't even get invites to small tire racing anymore. We're like so out of the. I personally am so out of the small tire realm. I mean, I ain't trying to be my feelings about it, but it's just I'm used to be gangster around here with that car on small tire. I mean, we've proven this year that Caden could do the drive and I could do the keyboarding earlier in the season.
Well,
we still did a lot of winning.
I did the keyboarding at the end of the season.
I know, but
I had to kick you off.
I don't know. I do got to get my redemption back into some small tire and get my feet wet just to be in the game. Because man, people, I don't know. You know, I haven't small tire raced. When's the last time I've been in a small tire car?
Like probably 2 years.
Oh no, this year I tested it. I tested that and I took
When?
Chris St. Clair's son down to the Summer Dog. We broke the record.
Oh yeah.
We broke the record this year. That was super fun, man. Super dangerous. And that is something else I need to do too. Whether I do it with a 34.5 or I put a 36 on this, I did create a tune-up to go back to South Mountain and break that record there. We missed it by 100th of a second. I really do want to break that record with this, just to break it. It's my local track here. It's 35 minutes, 35 minutes from my house. And if I would have listened to him earlier in the game, I would have broke the record. It ran out of daylight. There's no lights there, and I was trying to shoot for the moon early, made a coast to the stripe, and the way that track is, you run off the concrete 150 foot, and you pretty much had to make the tune-up where you drove it the whole way. And I did actually lift about 3.8 in the run when I went a 427, and all I needed to do was a 426. Only because it was my first pass where I actually drove to the stripe, and I didn't know if I was going to get shut down, and I got shut down with no problem. Just got slowed, easy. It was easy. So I'm not going to say that it still wouldn't be a little nerve-wracking and scary to do it again because the track is real narrow.
And the shutoff is crazy.
Bank turn, but I mean, I would
NASCAR
like to do
turn.
that. I mean, both the short tracks that we raced, short
Summer
shutdown,
Ducks.
left end turn.
Summer Ducks.
Summer
is
Duck.
wild.
Summer Duck's wild.
Downhill and it's just.
It's like, it's what it is. It's like you're like, yeah. It looks like it's going to be so much worse. You're like, oh, it's not so bad.
You're always, I feel like, late with the shoots anyway.
I am. I'm not like this kid. I know it's like that racing style. It's
What?
where they'll let the chutes out. They're literally throwing the handle when they're front end of the cars 15, 20 yards from the stripe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good racing. It's good. I haven't got as good at that.
Having a car like cross the stripe and the shoots out at the same time?
The chutes
Yeah,
out.
where it's like hasn't grabbed yet.
Chutes coming out as your front of your car across the stripe.
It's just like a flex to be like,
That's what we're.
check it out.
That's
Look
what
at that,
it's
dude.
like a flex move.
No, that's
Oh shit!
that's
It is,
more,
bro.
No, that's more when you're like half track.
Dude, when you're fucking.
That's more when you're half track because somebody's still at the start line. You throw the shoot on them and that's like a flex. But
No, that's
just having the shoot out like as you're crossing the
It's
stripe,
good.
that's just good in general.
It is good race method.
Yeah.
I've gotten so used to making sure that I've held it to the stripe that I was always afraid of throwing the chute too quick and it deploying and it killing my ET or killing my mile per hour. Every time I make a lap, it's like almost like I'm shooting for a personal best. I mean, every time. You know what I mean? You're always like, what did that draggy say? Or what did that slip say? It is just a crazy energy to chase back now and look at the number that you ran, and now to get data. Like to get the data, I'm such a data whore. It's like let me get data. It's like what did it do? What was it? If I had a hot cylinder, if you had a cylinder that was real cold, like how to just to know that everything's good. You want to see how that cylinder reacts, or whatever the case may be, whatever the data might have showed you to run before that you changed or fixed, and you want to make sure it's good. But I didn't do all the tuning on this year. I had Chase doing it. I would go back and pull the data. I would still want to read it, even if I didn't initially in the beginning know exactly what I was looking for as far as like air fuels and EGTs or wheel speeds and everything I wasn't as familiar with this car initially. I would still anxiously get back to pull it so I could have it, and so if I got a free moment, that I could read it and try and dissect it, And then at the end of the season, I got familiar with it to where I was good enough to where I was able to be behind the keyboard and run it. I only tuned this myself in Texas. And I did pretty good. We went fast. We went super fast. Kept it together. But we loved having Chase apart. And Greg, Greg Power originally set the original tune up in the car and got it running with us when we all got done wiring it. But Chase took over.
Yeah, I just don't think you're capable of having somebody else on the keyboard for when you're too much. Just so you gotta.
Dude, I'm spastic.
I don't blame you though. Like I definitely like having more control, like being on the keyboard, because like there was a couple races where I felt like I was mad at him because I felt like he cost me the race. So that was more towards like where I started taking the keyboard more and doing it myself. And if I lost, like that's all on me. So I definitely liked that more. And I went faster than he was doing. So I was. That's
the shitty part. Like, I'm not gonna have him this year, right? Damn, man. I'll get him in the summertime as long as you don't. If you meet your chick, as long as you don't go meet a chick, have babies. It's okay to meet your chick, but I mean, like, as long as they don't like roll out to San Francisco or wherever she might be from, and you know what I mean, and plan on summer vacation away from us. That's the only problem. His mom and I are looking forward to seeing him in the summertime and spend some time. So this is all new. It's our first kid, our first baby going to school. So
first, like in the family going to school.
Yeah, first in the family going to college. We're all a bunch of rejects, I guess, man.
Wrapped.
All right, man. We appreciate you, Brad.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all those good things. We need y'all. Y'all important part of the puzzle. Peace.